What's going on, guys? Balkan Architect here, and in today's video we are going to be talking about project browser organization inside of Revit. So when it comes to working on larger projects inside of Revit, it can be really difficult to locate views when you have a lot of them. So when you have a few hundred views, it can be really difficult to kind of scroll through the menus and locate the view that you're looking for. So because of this, we can actually organize our project browsers in order to kind of accommodate our workflow and our organization of the project. So I'm just going to be showing you how to do this inside of Revit. Now, before I jump into this video, I would like to ask you to check out my website, balkanarchitect.com. I'm going to link it up just below this video in the description, and then also up in the cards above. This is my website where I upload my Revit courses, where I take the extra time to go slowly, step by step, and cover all of the important yet complex Revit topics. I've got over 130 hours of content, and I'm adding more each month. Also there you can find some of my customized Revit templates. You can find some really high quality Revit families, as well as a plugin, so make sure to check it out. And also, before we get started, make sure to like this video. It helps me out a lot, and also make sure to subscribe. Not only will that make it so that you don't miss the next video, but also it does make the alpaca happy, and let's be honest, that's why we're all here. Okay, so now without any further ado, let's jump straight into Revit. Now here I actually have a specific project that I want to show you, because here we have kind of a very nice organization of the project browser. Now this project, this is like the example project that's included in my structural, concrete, and reinforcement template for Revit, and you get this organization out of the box. So let me just show you how this works here. If you want to get this template, you can find it by clicking on the card above. Okay, so now here you can see that the project browser is divided into multiple levels here. So first we have 3D level 1 and level 2. Now basically this organization is set up in such a way where you have all of these structural elements, and then you want to categorize them by each level, and then for 3D views we just have this 3D. So basically, for example, for level 1, then we have that defined into formwork, which is kind of all of the structural elements, and then reinforcement, which is rebar plans. And then here you have, for example, floors and walls, and we're going down into each kind of construction or structural element, because usually all of these kind of require their own sheets and views. So for example, here you have all of the views for the columns, all of the views for walls, and so on. So for example, if you're working on a project here, you would say, okay, I want to reinforce a beam. I would basically go here, okay, where's that beam? Is it on level 2? Okay, let's go to level 2. You want to reinforce it, so that's reinforcement. Open that up. Okay, so we're into beams, and then we open that up, and then we have all of the views for beam reinforcement on level 2. So this is a really useful approach, because it kind of minimizes the time for searching for the kind of project views. Also, another trick you can use is you can right click here, and then you can go to search, and then you can actually type in anything that you want, and it's basically going to give you kind of results here. So that's just another feature that you might be interested in. But I'm just going to cancel out of this, and now I'm actually going to be showing you how to organize this, how to set this up. So let's close this project up, and then here I have kind of my basic single family home here, and let's set up the views for this. You can see here we have many views, and they have kind of the basic organization, but it is very disorganized in this case, because I want to emphasize detailing for this particular project. So I'm going to be devising a project browser organization for detailing. So let me show you how that works. The first thing that we have to do is we have to add parameters which Revit is going to use in order to characterize these or organize these views. So when it comes to these parameters, they're basically going to be parameters that appear here in the view instance properties. So for example, this is the 3D view, and then here we have just a set of parameters that go along with this project. Now you can pretty much use these parameters in order to organize your views. Actually, out of the box, Revit, here, let me show you, right click, project browser organization. Here, for example, you can organize by discipline or by phase. So what this basically means is that Revit, let me see, okay, Revit is going to use, for example, the phasing parameters in order to organize the views. Or by discipline, it's going to use this discipline parameter to organize the views. So you have that option, but I think what is much better is to have your own parameters which you can use. So in this case, as I said, I want to use detailing, so let me show you the approach for that. To create these parameters, they're going to be project parameters, so you need to go here to the Manage tab. Then you want to go to Project Parameters, and then you just add a parameter here. So this is going to be a simple project parameter. The name is going to be the, let's call it the view detail level. Now I could use the detail level that's available in the properties, but actually I want all of my views to have kind of the defined level of detail, but I still want to have them kind of categorized differently. So I'm creating this custom parameter. I'm going to leave it as an instance parameter, and then for the type of parameter I'm just going to use text. Now also you want to define the categories here. So views is obviously one of them, so check that, but also what you can check here is sheets and schedules, because you can use the same type of organization that you're using for views for your sheets and your schedules, so that's useful as well. So this is the first one, the view detail level. Let's click OK. So we have that one. Let's add another one. So this one is going to be called the view type. Okay. Again, instance parameter, it's going to be a text parameter. The discipline can be common, that's perfectly fine. And then just make sure to check views, sheets, and schedules. Sheets and schedules, okay. So now once we have these two parameters, if I click OK and exit out of this, now you'll see that for each of our views, here we're going to have, let's see, okay, so here we have the view detail level and the view type. So these parameters can now be used in order to categorize these views. So what we want to do next is go here to the views, right click, and go to browser organization. And then, as I said, we have these kind of options. The first one is all. This is kind of the default one that you're going to see all the time. But then we have these additional ones which you can use as well. Now in this case, I want to create a new one, so let's call this one my detailing. Detailing browser. Okay, click OK. And now here we have an option for setting up the filtering, or in this case I want to concentrate on grouping and sorting. So I want to group these by our view detail level parameter first, and then I want to group it by view type parameter second. So as I said, we already have the type parameter and we already have the detail level parameter, so that's why I've added view in the name, so I can kind of differentiate those parameters. So that's just something to keep in mind. So anyways, here I have kind of set these two up, and then I'm simply going to click OK, click make sure to check that one, and then hit apply. Okay, and then your project browser is going to look like this. Now at this point you might be thinking, oh no, I've messed up my project browser. Well, I only have these question marks here, and then I have all of the views kind of bunched up below. And that's okay, that's usually how it starts, because Revit still doesn't know which view belongs where. So now it's time for us to categorize these views. So for example, I can go here to elevations, I can select all of them by selecting the first one, hold the shift key, select the last one, and then here in the properties, for all of these I can say that the view detail level, so this is going to be our main model, and then you want to hit enter, and then view type, this is going to be elevation. And then make sure to hit enter as well. So always when you enter something here, you want to hit enter after that. Then we hit apply, and now what will happen is here below this, now we have our main model, and then here we have elevation views. See? Now, for example, I can go here into sections. So these two sections are going to be our kind of main sections. So if I open this one up, as you can see, it's a main section. This one as well. It's not really a detailing section. So I'm just going to select those two and then go here. So this is going to be our main model. So we just click there. It appears in the drop menu, and this is going to be sections. Again, hit enter and then hit apply. And now here we have those sections. And then we can just continue like this. So for example, here we have some additional views. So let's go through floor plans now. So floor plan 00, this one, roof level, top of foundation, site plan, and then the ceiling plans as well. So all of these are going to be under, let's see, so that's going to be main model, and then this is going to be floor plans or plan views. Okay, make sure to hit enter and then hit apply. Okay, so here we have those plan views. And then we can just continue like that. So for example, as I said, this is going to emphasize detailing. And if I open up here, you can see I have this 3D detail of a roof. I have this drafting view of the roof drain. I also have this call out again of the roof. So what I can do now is just select this one, and then also the roof drain, for example. And then I can go for those. Those are not going to be the main model. These are going to be detailing. Hit enter, and then this is going to be roof. So these are roof details, and then I want to hit apply. So now here we have detailing, and then we have the roof details, and then we have the main model, and there we have all of the main views. And then I can just continue like that. So let's see, what else do we have here? We can close these up. Okay, so I have this 3D view. So this is kind of the main view, this one as well. So I can select those two. Again, these are going to be main model, and then they're going to be 3D. Again, hit enter, hit apply, and now it just goes under the main model. Then we have this exploded diagram. Again, that's a main model, 3D. Okay, hit apply. Now we have this foundation detail. Here again, we have foundation, and this is foundation. So all three of these are foundation details. So this is going to go under detailing, and then here, foundation. Hit enter, hit apply, and now here we have detailing, and that goes into foundation or roof, and then we have the rest of the views here. And finally, we have this rendering, so I can go with perhaps main model and 3D for that, hit apply, and now we're done with our project browser organization. You can see we have it now kind of split into detailing, and into the main model, and then here the detailing goes kind of through the elements, the foundation, the roof, and then we can go and just continue like that. And then for the main model, there we have all of our main views, and we can search for those there. So we have developed now a completely new approach to creating our browser organization. Now you might think, okay, it takes a lot of time to set this up, and that is true. Now what I've seen, what they do in kind of bigger offices is usually they would connect this with the view templates. So if you don't know what view templates are, I have an entire video on that, so I'm going to include that just up in the cards above to check it out. But basically here, if I select any view, so for example this foundation, let's use this one for example. Okay, so for foundation, if I go here to view template, I can assign different view templates. So you would usually have like a detailing template, and then for that template, what you'll see is that here you will have these two parameters, the detail level and the view type. So you would basically assign a view template, which is going to give you all of the kind of important view parameters for that view, which is going to be kind of the scale, the VG settings or overrides, the detail level, the shadows, everything like that. And then with that, you would assign the detail level and the view type. So through that, or the view, or basically kind of the parameters that define your project browser. So in that way, you would kind of make this process a lot shorter because it's done alongside with setting up the view template, so it's done automatically. So that's just something to keep in mind. But there you go. That's basically how you have your whole kind of project browser organization set up. Now, if you want to get this model, this project file, it is going to be available on my Patreon. So I'm going to include a link to that in the description below this video, and then also up in the cards above. Thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to check out my website, balkanarchitect.com, for more Revit courses. There I have over 120 hours of content, and I'm adding more each week. Make sure to subscribe for more videos, and also I've added a video over there that might interest you as well.